Sanya. So Sanya, he is our best friend too. He's Thai and he lives in Bern or Belp in Switzerland.
Yes. With this background, this is really local. Countryside.
We miss the cow.
Exactly.
Okay. And last one, Pratan Suchon is from Scotland. So from Varapunya Meditation Center. So I let him to introduce to you two guys also. Okay. กราบนมัสการค่ะพระอาจารย์
Okay. So good morning, everyone. Are we ready?
I think.
Yes. Okay. Right. So just let you know this is on YouTube. Okay. So you can follow up later on if you would like to, and also other members, those who are interested, they can listen it too. Okay. So I think you all have introduction to one another, having fun. Okay, so today again we are here to practice, to learn what is meditation and how to deal with different situations and how to learn and how to apply this skill. So everyone hearing me okay? Okay, let me a little bit more. Right. Okay. So today I thought that I would like to remind you just one thing, which is we call the precepts in Buddhism. Okay? And this precept is also known as the basic fundamental rules that if we can practice, then it helps to clear our mind. So the first one is called Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, which means I undertake the precept of refraining from destroying living creatures or taking lives. And Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, which is I undertake the precept of refraining from taking that which is not given. And Kamesu Michachara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, which means I undertake the precept of refraining from sexual misconduct. And number 4, Musawada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, which means I undertake the precept of refraining from incorrect speech. And number 5, Asura Meraya Majjapamadatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, which means I undertake the precept of refraining from intoxicating liquor, drugs that leads to the carelessness. So this is the basic fundamental teachings that according to the Buddhist tradition, if we want to develop our progress in our meditation, then we it is suggested that we better be mindful of these 5 precepts. If we have that, then it's easy to get progress. Okay, so that is the I will send it to Warapon and she will circulate it to all, so that next time then you can at least familiarize with it. Right. So now today, again, last session, we were talking about how to deal with emotions. And today I thought that, this is like a very challenging time. And it's like a great exam for us in every ways. We have to learn different things and different ways to deal with it. It's an exam of our own life for this 2021. because there are COVID-19, you have a job you are doing from home, and again the challenges with your own life, with families and job and like that. So that's why it's a kind of a great exam that we are going through, very, very uncertain. So a life is people say that life is the most difficult exam. Yeah, the most difficult exam. And uh, many people um, uh, fail because they try to copy others. And we try to copy one another, you know? And then as a result, we are thinking that after I'm copying this, I will be successful. But every one of us has got the different exam papers, different questions. They're not same. Our life is not same. Yeah. So what we have to do is to we have to learn these challenges, and we have to learn this kind of our own individual exam. Although we are probably, you know, in the same country or same organization, but the challenges will be different. Exam is different. All what we need to do is to be mindful, keep calm, and carry on. Keep calm and carry on. So basically facing these challenges mindfully, you know, rather than overacting, or rather than getting more stressed or anxious about it. And when we look at it, you know, those challenges that we receive, you know, where do you think is the most obvious causes of bringing those challenges? You know? And that's a kind of, we call it distractions and obstacles and challenges. You know, these are the challenges in our life. And when we look at distractions, so many distractions we got it in the everyday life. We are distracted by food. We are distracted by new technologies. We are distracted by particularly social media, Facebook. And you can see so many cartoons produced by different artists. Facebook is all around in our heads, like that. And family matters. If you are in a family, so many distractions that you have to face, and every day we are facing that. And now, whenever the problem is that whenever we are distracted, or whenever we are having a problem or obstacles and challenges, obviously not knowing how to deal with that brings the stress. Yeah, brings the stress and heaviness in our heads. And some people, because of that stress and can't deal with the challenges, can't deal with the distractions and obstacles, people will turn to either like alcohols or cigarettes and drugs, thinking that that will help. But the reality is that rather than helping, it will make more trouble, bring more troubles. And there is a writer and very famous writer, a famous speaker as well. His name is Eckhart Tolle. He said that stress is caused by being here but wanting to be there. Yeah, we are here but wanting to be there, and that is the main reason of the stress, and which is a cause of not able to sleep, not having a good nights of sleeps, and insomnia and other problems arises. And and that's simply because we are not living in the present moment. As it says, we are thinking of the past or wanting to something else. Whereas in a reality, our body is here in the present moment. Yeah? Only our body is only here. Do you agree with me? Our body is always here. Whereas our mind is never in here in this present moment. Our mind is always in the past, thinking about all the obstacles, all the distractions, all the challenges, then why me, why me, why me? What's going on? Why disease? Like that, and goes on. And then your mind also think about, oh, what will be in the future? And that is the cause of all other stress and problems in our life. Now, practice of a mindfulness meditation is learning to bring this mind to the moment here, or combining or uniting with this body. Uniting with this body, and that is the mindfulness. And mindfulness is basically presentness of our heart. Presentness of our heart, because our heart never tells lies. Can you believe that? Unless you fall in love. Our heart is always in the present. Your heartbeat always in the present. That's why we have to feel from your heart. Feel from your heart. So presentness of the heart is known as mindfulness. And again, when we are not mindful, basically we become a mindless. Mind is always wandering, distracted with thoughts, and that's the most difficult one. And our brain is simply scattered all around, scattered everywhere, and so in a kind of a thoughtless, and then disorganized, and having a poor attention. And when we have these poor attentions and scattered all around, and we will be thinking that, just like a running or chasing after the clock. It's like a hamster wheel. You're running and running and running, and never gone anywhere. It's simply same place, running at the same time. Or it's like, there is another simile given. It's called headless chicken. Headless chicken is just running around and don't know what it's doing. So that is absence of our mind. Absent of our mind is like that, not able to be mindful, and we are all over the world, everywhere, scattered all around. When it's scattered all around, that's the reason we worry about the past. Sorry, when we stressed about the past and then worry about the future. We feel guilty of things that we have done, or regret that things that we haven't done or have done. And then we'll be whispering ourselves again and again that, oh, I should have done this way, or I should have done that way. And then furthermore, it's like a regret. So I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done this way, or I should have gone that way, in that way. So you will be constantly going through that process of a guilt and regret. And whereas in terms of the future, Nikhil just to join, in terms of the future worries, it's like, what if that doesn't happen? What if that doesn't happen, or what if that does happen? And that is the main reason of having a fear and worries in the past, in the future. So can you think of any of your own examples? Can you think of your own examples about like a guilt or a regrets or a fear and a worries? Do you have any? I believe so. Yeah, I do have. Even though I'm a monk, I do have some guilt and regrets and fear and worries too. Okay, I'm not enlightened yet. So anyone has got any of your own stories? No? Oh. So basically here, a practice of a meditation is to recognize them and overcoming our autopilot mode. Whenever these things happen, we simply react. Whenever these things happen, we simply, without knowing, mindlessly, we go and react it immediately. Yeah. And then with that, we have got so many other worries, stress and problem, anxiety in life, and can't deal with the situation that we are in. And now practice of a mindfulness meditation is learn to be mindful in our day-to-day life. And that's called the power of now, being here and now in the moment. And whatever you are doing with mindfully. You are eating mindfully, you're drinking mindfully, uh, whatever you are doing. Basically, awakening our senses and aware of our senses. The sound that we hear, the smell that we get from the nose, and then the food that we eat and how do we taste it, and then the food that we eat, and that's basically become mindful of it. Yeah. And then again, further on, when you, I think I mentioned last time, when you woke up, first of all, stand 15 seconds before you walk away from your bed, right? So in the past, I requested you to be mindful of 15 seconds as you woke up. Do not come out from the bed and do not do anything, but just simply spend 15 seconds, 15 seconds in your bed. And then last session, I requested you to be mindful of after you come out from bed, before you're walking away, spend 15 seconds standing and observing. Did anybody observe it? Manage to do that? Yeah. And then a second, I was requesting you to be mindful of brushing your teeth, right? As you brush, feeling your teeth, brushing, how you brush your teeth. You can hear the noise, you can hear, you can feel the brush, you can feel the texture, you can feel the smell, and like that. Same with the driving, when you're driving away somewhere in your car, again, observing all around what's going on. So that is the meditation, and that's how we will get more insight from it, and we will be able to deal with the situations. Important, I would say, the right attitude. When we have a right attitude, that means we have got the right frame of mind. Right frame of mind. And so in order to have this right attitude, that's why this this 5 precepts that I have mentioned early on in the initial of this today, that's very important. So it will give you the right attitude. Yeah? And a right attitude, again, always allow you to accept what's going on. Allow you to accept what's going on around in this moment, about your own life, about the environment and situation or jobs. So you become able to accept the situation as they are. And then not only the acceptance of it, but able to acknowledge it, that this is, okay? And then able to observe it. Observing here, objectively observing it, whatever is happening, whether that is a pleasant sense, pleasant or unpleasant, we will be able to observe it objectively, and we don't need to worry anything. So we will have a balanced mind at that time. And also, the way we are doing, we are not stressing in it. We are not like hitting ourselves that you should do it, you should accept, you should acknowledge, you should observe in that way, rather than it's like pressing yourself. We are doing it in a very relaxed but alert, in a relaxed way, but very alert in that way. And with that alertness, what happens? We see things clearly. That is called sampajanya. In Buddhism, it's called sampajanya, seeing it clearly, or ability to comprehend things in its reality, in its exact form, rather than adding our concepts, adding our perceptions, adding our memories, adding our understandings, and like that. But have a sampajanya, the clear awareness. And we will be able to see that, is this a beneficial? Right? Is this appropriate? And is this realistic? And is it that I really know it clearly? So all the sensations, every situation, every emotions that we get through the triggers that we have discussed previously, that triggers the emotions. And these things, whenever it arises, when we have a right attitude about it, we will be able to accept, acknowledge, and observe it. And then when we observe it, we will get the clear understanding of it. It's called clear knowing, or sampajanya as the wisdom part. And that moment we will be able to comprehend it as it is beneficial, or it is appropriate to react in that way, or whether it is right or wrong, in that way. So with this, we will be able to overcome our stress, anxiety, depression, even the insomnia. Like in terms of the insomnia, last few days ago, I was having a conversation with our interfaith groups, and then we had a discussion about the sleep and sleep deprivation. That means lack of sleep in modern day. And I was asked that how the Buddhist perspective on that, how Buddhism can help to people sleep. And I said, oh, in Buddhism, actually, doesn't talk about the sleep, but talk about how to wake up, how not to sleep. And that's a completely different story, and that's why when we meditate, then we will be able to sleep quite easily, no problem. That's why you may be noticing yourself, whenever you meditate, you go to sleep. Even though you are sitting, whenever you meditate, it takes you to sleep. But when you go to sleep, you cannot sleep. Do you know why? Because you're thinking too much, thinking about what you have done and thinking about what you're going to do tomorrow. And with that, mind is very active and you cannot sleep. So the best remedy is, when you go to sleep, meditate, so you can go to sleep easily. And when you meditate, think that I am going to sleep. So you're constantly thinking, then you won't go to sleep. So it's a best remedy for the insomnia is the meditation. And it helps to have a clear mind. Because normally our mind is full of the stories, and that's a mind full of stories, that all the things that is distracting ourselves, and not able to be mindful. Even though you are walking, you're not enjoying the weather, you're not enjoying this bird singing, you're not enjoying this wind, you're not enjoying the sunshine. And today I heard in Switzerland there is a sunshine, a beautiful weather, so as here too. So you can see the window is my half face is black and half face is white. So mindfulness meditation helps you to be mindful in the moment, and you will be enjoying, rather than thinking of all the stories. You will be thinking of, oh, what a beautiful tree, oh, what a lovely, the birds singing, like that. And that is the mindfulness. And it brings, in that moment, what happens? You become attentive in the moment there. In there, you become a mindful. And so that is the practice. But to do that, we have to train ourselves from the beginning. We have to train ourselves, train our mind, because our mind is like a wild elephant. Buddha said it's like a wild elephant or like a wild monkey. We have to tame, and you have to train it in order so that we can get we can use it for the greater benefit. Okay. And as we know, practice of a meditation, there are many techniques in many ways, but we are practicing using the breath and the abdomen as the main object. So I think today I've been talking quite a long. Let's practice meditation, and then later on I will answer and I will have a discussions on. Okay, so let's practice. As I hit the gong and start meditating. So. So sitting in a very most comfortable posture of your body that you are sitting. And your body is upright, but not rigid. And relax. Leave all your responsibilities aside and be mindful of your body here in the moment, present moment awareness. Keep away all the distractions. Keep away all your duties and responsibilities. And bring this scattered mind to the body, uniting this body. Unification of mind and a body in the present moment. Extinguishing all the difficulties, all the obstacles, even the love, the concerns and the worries, even the gladness or anger, regrets and desires, everything. Leave aside for a while. And if you can't leave it aside at the moment, simply telling to yourself, not at this time. Leave it for temporarily. We used to say then, put just a side of yourself when you are meditating. All those things. Feel that you are sitting alone here in the moment, or secluded. Nothing to worry, nothing to do, nothing to read, nowhere to go. But this is the moment. You're sitting here in a secluded place, non-distracted, calm and collected. Being friend with your own body and observing whatever feelings are there. If there is a tension, let it relax. If there is any other sensations, then just be mindful. Whatever is happening during this time, just be mindful of it. And as your mind settles down, body calms, gently bring your attention to the breath, aware of your breath. So breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Do not interfere with the breath. Do not generate or do not try to regulate the breath. Let it flow naturally, normally. As you're mindful of the breath, fully alert, aware of the breath, and whatever thoughts, distractions, or objects or obstacles arises, observing it, acknowledging, noting that I am having it, and let go. Trying your best to be with the breath. And oftentimes, you may not be able to observe the breath. It's okay. Thoughts arises, distracted, that's fine. All what you do is observe it, acknowledge it, note, and let go. Accept that this is happening. Do not fight with it. Acknowledging that state and observing it objectively, and come back. Come back to the primary object, the breath. So incoming breath and outgoing breath. And as you feel that your mind becomes peaceful and calm, collected, try to observe the different breath. Different breaths is incoming and outgoing taking place. Observing those different breaths. And this observing different breaths is simply to stop our mind from thinking or worrying about the challenges that we are going through. We simply become mindful of it rather than fighting with it. Mindfully dealing with all the situation without worrying or without guilt or regrets on it. Things that already happened is already happened. That's why they say past is a history. We have learned the lesson. Future is a mystery. Unknown. We do not know what's going to happen. But the present moment is a mastery. So we have to learn to be master of the present moment. When we learn to be in the present moment, we will be able to deal with all the situations. We can take any exams in our life without any trouble. All the obstacles and challenges become a good friend that encourages us to fight and survive. But we are mindful of every action that we are performing. It's like we are fit to flight. In a COVID-19, you have to check the COVID-19 before you fly. It's called a fit to flight certificate. Once we know how to learn to be in the present moment, then we are fit to live mindfully and happily in this uncertain world. All what we need to develop is a faith in us. Faith in us in a way that living in a moment is the greatest happiness. And learn to be persistent in the moment, persistently engaging. And being mindful of your every action, which brings the calmness, the flexibility, smoothness in our day-to-day life, and which also helps us to understand things as they truly are. So as you're sitting here, mindful of the breath, incoming, outgoing, and observing the different breaths, and whenever any other distractions arises, the thoughts, the emotions, the obstacles, the challenges, accepting them with an open heart, acknowledging them with a clear mind, and observing it objectively, the reality pertaining to itself, without any biasness, any prejudice over it. And this is the moment that we have to relax, alert, and awake. Incoming breath, outgoing breath, mindful of all the mental factors. Now, as you hear the gong, slowly come out from meditation. Okay. Okay. So this is a time for the sharing and the questions. Whoever wants to share first, you can go ahead. Particularly Marco, and I forgot the name.
You hear me?
Julio.
Yes. Yeah, Julio. Okay. Yes. Anything you want to share?
No, what's good? A little bit the stress side. With yes, I'm feeling good. My focus it still go away, and I keep to going back to my breath, and so was very interesting. I feel a little bit more warm. I don't know why. With some part of my body, it's stretching, it's hurt, it's warm a little bit more. So my focus go to on that point and go away, come back. So
Okay.
I have to take times.
Good. At least you remember and you are aware of that heat, the warmness in your body, and you're coming back again and again. So that's
Sure.
good. That's returning back to the moment. Yeah. Good.
I had a similar experience as Marco, especially now that people in the house wake up and make some noise in the kitchen. And I remember the first time I had this, and it really made my heart beat faster. And now I notice it. And then I can tell myself, okay, come back to my breath, and also listening to you telling me breathe in and out. This really helps a lot. So I can see the progress much better than the first time.
Okay, so that's good. That now you know how to respond to the any noises or distractions that we call in the initial time. See, later on, it is no more distraction. It helps you to back to the moment. Yeah, that's good, Catherine. Yeah, anyone else?
I've been distracted a lot at the first of the exercise. Then I used the breath to come inside. It was better. At the end, I feel also my body a little more warm. It was interesting to observe all these distractions in me. And I think that at the end, I reached to be a little more calm. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. It is quite obvious that we all have a distraction, yeah? And it will be, and there will be always a distraction. So that's why sometimes people have a misconception that mindfulness meditation, once you practice, is like complete zoned in and no distractions at all. And it's like a wipeout. You're clearing all your heads away, yeah, and free yourself from those distractions. And after you meditate, you're supposed to be calm and peace and new person. And that's the misconception normally people have. Yeah, it is not the reality. And you all have experienced it. And the moment when you meditate, mind is all over the world. That's why it's called a monkey, jumping all around. Yeah?
Yes.
So initially, we deal with this distraction. Yeah? Later on, this distraction won't be distraction. It will be a good friend. But initially, we have to learn to understand and disconnect that distractions away. Okay? And come back to the moment with the breath. We normally use the breath or abdomen as a primary object, place that mind always will be living and standing. So good. Distraction is good. If no distraction, then we do not know that my mind is distracted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have been a lot traveling around this last month, contrary to everybody else. For me. And it was a bit difficult to always keep my meditation schedule. I did my best, and I nevertheless often had the impression that I was more distracted than before. But eventually, I know that it might be just because this is a period where I take more care. But so I never know if I'm not more conscious about my distraction or if I'm more distracted. And then I think about that, and then I think, who cares? It doesn't matter. So I was often in apartments with people I don't live with normally. And so I was, even when I settled down, I was still conversing with these people all the time in my head. But also I was in places that were extremely quiet, a lot more quiet than my place. And I had some, like, I was in an apartment and the snow was melting and I heard the dripping of the water. And then I really not concentrated on it, but just was glad to be there and to be in the moment. And so I tried last month to be in the moment. I was not often, but sometimes I was, and I felt so much gratitude.
Very good. Yeah. Normally, what happens is that before practice of a meditation, people feel that they are okay. They don't have anger and they have no distraction. They are happier. And then once they practice meditation, like Janine, yeah, see that my mind is distracted. My mind is always distracted. Never been in a present moment. And then anger also expands more whenever you get angry. It's become so terrible. And it is because in the past, it was there, but you didn't notice. You were just escaping from one to another, trying to subsidize with something else, substitute to something else. When there is a thoughts, when there are too many thoughts, you will just walk, or you will do reading a book, or you will watch the TV, and you're just escaping. Basically, you do not want to have those distracted mind, and that's why constantly moving, and we become a very active. And sometimes it is known as multitasks. Yeah? People think they are multitask. Actually, they are driven by their own thoughts. It's called, we have called this word is called anusati, anukilesas. Subconsciously hidden those activities, influencing you to act in that way. But what happens is that after you practice meditation, you become aware of it. Simply, it's like before there was a curtain that you do not know how to look at it. Now the curtain is taken away and you see it clearly. Oh, this is happening to me. And with that, the clarity comes. And then that's the thing where you have to have a right understanding about the meditation, that the more we practice, the better we will become aware of our own mental states, our own mind. In the past, we were just putting the layer after layer, covering it. And here, practice of meditation is opening it to see the reality of this, the real mind. Yeah? And this is another simile, modern simile is given. It's like a peeling an onion. Peeling an onion. Practice of a meditation is peeling an onion to see the reality inside. Whereas in the past, before practice of a meditation, we cover it more and more. That's why big onion you will have. So the more we practice, basically we are peeling one layer after another. One layer after another to see the real, true your mind, who your mind is. And actually the mind mind is combination of 4 things. Combination of 4 factors. In Thai we call Ru, Cham, Hen, Kit. So the number 1 is seeing, or a vision, knowing. Our mind has got this quality of knowing, seeing. And the second, it thinks or try to comprehend, conceptualize it into this or that. And that basically means covering it with our own understanding, with our own perception. Things that I don't know, things I never met, things that I never see before, I try to make it from my own perception that this is this. So we make it, cover it. So that's from the memories, perceptions. So we put it, cover it again. And then the third one is we try to make it in accordance with what we have seen, what we have understood. It's called comprehending, or thinking it too much. Thinking on the basis of what our experiences and memories are. It's called a sanya. We have a sanya here from Bern. That sanya, the sanya, his name sanya means making a resolution, but here sanya means a formation. So we are forming into new things, liking and disliking. This is a pleasant, I like it. This is unpleasant, I don't like it. So we go on with that proliferation, exaggeration. We're putting stories. That's why we go into the hamster wheel. Running like a headless chicken, go on and on and on. And the last one is consciously aware of that, knowing. So these are the 4 factors that our mind has. And the practice of a meditation is to realize these 4 factors separately. These factors separately. And that's why, because of having these 4 factors working together, constantly it's thinking of something, doing of something, always happening there. And the practice of a meditation is calming ourselves down and seeing those things naturally as they truly are. And with that, then the thinking mind gradually shrinks. We will be accepting things as they are. When their feelings arises, okay, this is feeling, rather than adding our experiences, our memories, our perceptions on it. We will simply accept that, acknowledging it without adding anything. It's like when you in Thailand we call quy tiao. I'm not sure whether in Switzerland you have. It's like the noodle soup, noodle. And then whenever there is a noodle, it comes with the salt. Sorry, it comes with a sugar, pepper, and then something to add more. It's a vinegar.
Listening.
Yeah. So seasoning, yes. Yeah. So normally what happens, as soon as you got this bowl of this noodle, quy tiao, immediately you will be adding sugar, peppers, and putting everything that's available there, thinking that it makes delicious. That is, each and individuals will add differently. But in its own, it's already perfect, right? And we just wanted to make it my flavor, pleasing my desire. So that's the same thing. We want to season it, everything that we experience, in accordance with my desire, my wish, and that is the cause of other troubles come. Then it won't happen as I wish. It happens against my wish. And then what happened? Then trouble comes. I am meditating here and somebody is playing a song upstairs. And then what happened? I am meditating here. Don't you know that? Why are you playing music? Who disturbed who now? So like that. So we want to put our flavor in the situation. And that's why the trouble begins. All what we are doing in the practice of a mindfulness meditation is knowing without adding any flavors on it. When you hear, just to hear. When you see, just to see. Okay, accept that is happening. Accept it is there. Acknowledging that is, and observing without adding any memories and perceptions on it. So with that, what happens? We shrinks our thinking in a one-pointed, become a one-pointed. And that's the place we call stop. Stopping here. The moment when you stop, you have arrived. That I have been saying so many times. The moment when you know how to stop, you have arrived. So that's why with this, then a practice of meditation is not emptying our thoughts, emptying our distractions, but having a right attitude of it, that this is there. I am having it. Simple as that. That's it. We like to complicate more. Be like a child. They don't have any complication. We have to go back to the childhood life and no complication on things that we experience. That is done. When children fight, tomorrow they will befriend again. When adults fight, for years they are not friends. Why? Because we complicate no more, too much. The children fight, go to sleep, forget tomorrow. Okay, hello, my friend. So the practice of a meditation helps us. Practice of meditation helps us to let go of these. and live in a present moment. Okay. Yes, Jenny?
You said that the mind is like a wild elephant, and I read once that meditation is riding a wind horse or a wild horse, and I found that so helpful, although it might contradict what you said about stop, because I remember when I rode horses in the beginning, it was like driving a car. I mean, when I wanted it to stop, then I pulled those reins very harshly, and it's in the mouth of the animal, and it's very soft. So the poor animal just was running even quicker because it just wanted to escape from me. And now there is something when I at one moment when I am on the breath, and then it's like swinging my body in the rhythm of my bloodstream. There is some kind of sensation like that, and so it's if my thoughts are coming and it gets distracted, it's like the horse that wants to eat a little bit of grass, and I don't you are thinking or something like that. I'm like, go ahead again. And so it's I am more kind with myself instead of pulling the reins or being harsh with myself.
Yeah. So it's like a horse. Yeah, good. That's why I think in the past I mentioned about our mind is like a wild horse that we have to tame it and train it for our own good purpose. Yeah, so good. Good that you realize now and developing understanding. Very glad. Right? Anyone wants to share or anything to ask?
I saw that you mentioned several times today about the insomnia.
Yeah.
And actually, I woke up very, very early this morning, and sometimes I do. And this morning, I simply could not get back to sleep again. And I know you were kind of joking earlier, excuse me, about the insomnia, but I always worry if you actually try to use meditation as a way to get back to sleep, that you actually begin to associate meditation with going to sleep. It becomes almost like a bad habit. And so I always worry about that. And actually this morning when you were guiding us, I was afraid that I would go to sleep because I'm very tired. But in actual fact, I felt, much, much more awake. I felt very, very awake, almost like diamond kind of, very, very awake. And so, but when I wake up in the night and I worry about, well, things like we all do, but I am concerned that using meditation to try to go back to sleep actually creates bad habits.
Yes, that's why we shouldn't be making a condition it. And we shouldn't be thinking that I have to meditate so that I can go to sleep. Yeah, so we shouldn't be conditioning ourselves. But my advice is that when you go to sleep, it's not to go to sleep you are meditating. You meditate to let go of all the things. Let go of, free your mind, and that will take you to the sleep. But we shouldn't be conditioning our mind that I am going to meditate so that I will go to sleep. Meanwhile, when you woke up in the middle of the night, and then you worry about tomorrow's work or tomorrow's activities, then you want to go to sleep quickly as soon as possible. And then if you think that, okay, I will meditate so that I can go to sleep, in that moment, your mind is so sharp, so active, that you will be meditating, not sleeping. You will be meditating, not sleeping. But again, if you are like in a retreat, and if you are in the night, you are meditating, you may not be sleeping, but the mind becomes so rest, in a rest, good rest. Your mind has got a good rest if you are meditating. And then when you wake up, not wake up, like just in the morning, you still feel very fresh. And this does happen. but I would not suggest you to do at homes. And as Emma said, you're right that we shouldn't be making any conditions whatsoever that I have to meditate to go to sleep like that. And not only the sleeping, even other activities as well. I have to meditate so that I will do these. Do not make that condition. Our mind is very clever that it can adapt as soon as we have conditioned it. And then when that condition is not there, it causes a trouble. So we do it. That's why we just do it, not expecting what we are going to do. What is it for? Just be. That's a practice of a mindfulness meditation, is to remember to do it, not remembering of something to do. Okay? So thank you, Emma. Yeah, you're right. We shouldn't be conditioning ourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Sanya, you want to say something?
No.
No? Okay. Anyone else want to add? Otherwise, we go practice. Okay. Right. So in that case, since we are not practicing the sitting meditation, walking meditation, I would encourage you to watch one of my walking meditation guidance YouTube. There is, you can watch that. Meanwhile, I was practicing one thing that I wanted to teach you today, and that is similar to the practice of walking meditation. Yeah, and again, practice of walking in another position that you can practice is a standing position, and that also you can do when you are standing. Right? And this is I've written a few notes here, and I will guide through it. So that's basically your fist, and here you're making a fist, not tight. You're not tight, making a tight, just a gentle fist, and then noticing each joints, each joints in your fist. Make sure that your hand is somewhere lying. That's so that you can keep it long time, not holding like this. So rest on something, and then channel your attention to what's called this first finger. Yeah, the first finger, and then here with a mindfully, very slow, and opening it. See that is there an intention to open it, or there is a thought of opening it, but you are mindfully opening it slowly and noticing all the sensations, the touch, the skin touching the other fingers in your palm, and then as you raise it, opening it, seeing the crackings and where there is a resistance, noticing that resisting. And don't judge, just notice as you are opening it, exploring what's going on. And as you open it, imagine that the water flows. When there is a stone, how the water flows, it just covers. It doesn't force through the water, through the rock. It finds way through the rock. Like the resistance. In life, whenever we have obstacles and difficulties, we fight with it. And as a result, causes troubles. But here, we are learning not to fight. And all the resistance, opening it. And try not to force your way through the resistance, and noticing the cracks. It's like find a way in the water course way where you can flow around the resistance. Move very slowly, and the path is least resistance. And let this time to let the body educate the mind. You can move to the next finger. Similar way. And here, let the body educate the mind, letting this mind know all those crackings, resistance, feelings, and do not judge at all. We all just note it. Noting, perceiving as they are. And you see that how it is opening up. Reflecting. Is it that I am getting old? That's why there is a resistance and a crackings? Even just to move and the finger. These cramps, cracks. Investigating and getting to know. Letting the body educate this mind. Similarly, move to the next finger. And again, slowly with your mindfulness. And gentle. It helps to understand how body functions and investigating how it reacts. And this investigation helps us to recognize other difficulties that we can apply. Maybe may have a thoughts of a tin man getting oil to put in my joints so that it moves slowly, smoothly. And here, the oil is like a mindfulness. So we're mindfully moving, mindfully aware of all the resistance and difficulties. And as you move, again, the last finger, slowly, similar way, gently, smoothly, consciously. And as you move, bring your attention and see your heart. Is your heart doing something? So conscious of your heart. What is your heart doing when your body encounters resistance? Is it beating faster as you try to overcome the obstacles and difficulties and resistance with a force? Check in your heart. Listen. Check your breath. How are you breathing? Listening the body. Listen to the heartbeat. Listen to the breathing. Listen to the sounds. And listen to the mind which is investigating and aware. See that there's cracks and moves. And slowly again make a fist with all fingers coming down slowly, and again observing similar way. See the resistance to make a fist, cracks, how much effort you are using it to make a fist. See the other tensions as you make a fist. Lightly making a fist. And slowly put it down. Put it down on your lap. And relax. It's a similar way observing the entire body along with the breath. What's happening in your body? If you're thinking of obstacles and challenges, noticing the breathing changes. The vibration of the body changes. Breathing changes. Temperature changes. So listening to the body very carefully. And when mind settles, mind is in the present moment. Breath becomes very smooth, very relaxed, very peaceful. Concentrate on your breath, aware of a different breath. And as you're paying attention to the breath, commencing your breathing in until breathing out. So breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. This time, whatever other thoughts and emotions arises, simply observing, acknowledging, noting, and let it go. And back to the breath. With this way, continue practicing. Remember, do not regulate the breath, do not generate the breath, do not hold the breath. Be mindful of the entire breath. Let it be. Developing confidence in your own practice. Developing your faith in your practice. Having faith and confidence. And adding sufficient energy to be mindful of the breath and other objects, other emotions and feelings arises. And mindfully aware of that, which calms the mind free from biasness and prejudice. And understanding the reality. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Noticing, breathing in and breathing out. Consciously recognizing it. Consciously aware. I am breathing in, I am breathing out. And consciously aware of a different breath, like commencing on breathing in and breathing out until the breathing out. Whatever other objects arises, any thoughts and emotions, do not put our perceptions, do not exaggerate, simply observing as they are. Each one of us experience differently, different feelings, different emotions, different experiences. Observing them objectively, and be with the breath. And as you hear the gong come out from meditation, okay, so this is the second part of our practice. Anybody has got anything to ask or anything to share? No? Okay. In that case, we will, if not, nothing to share, then we will practice loving kindness. I hope that you're having, what do you think of this fist practice? Anyone wants to share on that?
That was so impressive.
Yeah?
I thought my movements were a lot more fluid than that.
Ah. Okay. Anyone else? Anything?
I thought this closing the fist thing really helps to build patience.
Yes, that is true. Yeah.
And it by first closing the fist, trying to open it, and then when you said leave it on your lap or wherever you had it rested, and then even that moment, you thought you're trying to break free of the stress that you generated, but still you could feel the stress even trying to relax. So I was really some conflicting emotions. It was super revealing, to be honest. I couldn't imagine that such a small gesture as, closing a fist, which you do so many times during the day, whether to pick a mug of coffee, open the tap.
Yeah.
It was really revealing for me, and I really want to continue doing this the next few days.
Yeah. As you said, yeah, it is true. We are autopilot. We are doing it like taking a granted for. We are not aware of it, and we do it simply just out of just being used to with it, and we do it, become unaware of it, and practicing this will help us to be more mindful. In the very famous discourse that given by the Buddha is called Satipatthana, the four establishments of mindfulness. That even when you are turning right and a left and you're moving all your limbs, you become mindful. So that is the part of the training. And if you are a monk and you are on a retreat, you are asked to be mindful as you sit in a toilet. Before sitting, you have to be mindful that, okay, standing, intending to sit, and you slowly bending your legs and slowly down, and then as your feet, your thigh touches the toilet, what's called the sink, toilet, touches that moment again. You touching, and then a feeling of this, the temperature, heat or cold, and experiencing that heat, and pressing, and then sitting. So it takes quite a long time before you you exactly sit and do. Similar to eating as well. In eating sessions, again, normally how we do is mouth is still mumbling, chewing our food. Our hand is already in the food and grabbing. Whereas in a practice, no, your chewing is just a chewing. And then after finished, there is thought. Okay, there's a desire, thinking to have another food, and you move your hand slowly as like a fist opening. Slowly you're moving and mindful, lowering, touching the plate, and then grabbing the spoon, lifting, taking. So you're aware of every muscle, every movement of your body. You become a mindful. And with that, there is no chance that your mind will be thinking of something other than the present moment action. So that's how we are like creating a dam, not letting this any other unwholesome thoughts to creep in. And that is the practice that we normally do when we are on a retreat. So if you are not on a retreat yet, so you are like an apprentice training. And in case you want to go to the really strict training, the meditation retreats, then you will be able to, okay, oh, I have done it before, that's fine. Yeah, so like that. Yeah, and you can use it every actions become a mindful. As Nikhil said, he will try to be mindful other parts. Good. Right, I think in that case we have to practice the loving kindness meditation and finish off, unless anyone has got any other question or sharings. And I hope that you can practice for a whole month, and we'll come back to see again March. Anyone has got anything to share? If not, then we will practice the loving kindness meditation. Is that okay? All right then, so that means yes. Right, sit in comfortable position. as you hear the gong, and we'll start. So bring your attention to the moment here and now, aware of the body sitting. Spend some time on the primary object, the breath, incoming breath and outgoing breath. Try to observe the different breaths. And meanwhile, whatever other thoughts arises, and distractions, aware of that distraction, observing, acknowledging, noting, and let go. Just to be here and now. And observing bodily sensations, whatever sensations are there, observing it objectively, and bring that awareness to your hand. Wherever your hands are, let it be. Simply observe the breath, your hand. Observing whatever sensations are there, the heat, the cold, softness, hardness, heaviness, the touch. And bring that awareness to your heart, observing beating heart. And as you feel the beating heart, generating loving kindness and compassion to yourself, allowing yourself to be happy, allowing yourself to be relaxed, allowing yourself to be well, joy, free from sufferings, allowing yourself to be free from all the difficulties, the physical difficulties and mental difficulties. And with a loving kindness and compassion towards yourself, mentally sharing to yourself, may I be happy, may I be at peace, may I be free from suffering, may I be free from hurtfulness, hatred, ill will, animosity, anxiety, stress. May I be able to maintain my well-being and happiness. May I be liberated, liberated, When our mind is polluted, defiled by unwholesome thoughts, it will be very difficult to share kindness to oneself. We have to release ourselves from those unwholesome thoughts and sharing goodwill, kind thoughts towards oneself. And similarly, sharing a loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings, starting from near dear one, people around you, in the house, in the community, in the city, in the country, on earth, in the universe, without limit, without boundaries. Wishing them to be happy, well, free from sufferings, all troubles. Particularly this time of the year, in this situation, everyone needs this kindness and compassion. So sharing our good deeds that we have done today in the past, letting them to rejoice and free from any troubles, physical trouble and mental troubles, free from hurtfulness, hatred, calamities, stress and distress, anxiety. Whatever beings there are, visible and invisible beings, may they be happy. May they be at peace. May they be free from suffering. May they be free from hurtfulness and hatred. May they be able to maintain their happiness and well-being. May they be liberated. May all beings be happy. Bring your attention back to your hands, aware of the sensations in your hands. And to your body, aware of the sensations in your body. And to your eyes. And as you hear the gong slowly come up from meditation and reflect for a few moments. Okay, so thank you everyone. I wish you all have a wonderful weekend and stay safe, take care, bless you. Okay, so thank you. Now I will bless you in our traditional way today. Okay. Apiwādana sīlisa niccang vattha pacayino cattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang phalang. Sadhu, may you be well and happy. Take care and see you next month.
So I would like to thank you to you, Prajan, on behalf of the group of my friends. So we would like to thank you so much for this exercise. It's excellent. And we're going to find the date in March. So I hope you enjoy and you can practice 1 month and see you next month again. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Have
All
a
right,
good
then
Sunday.
take care. Okay, and have a good day. See you sometime.
Bye bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you.
Bye bye.